Now that you have the RDR tool suite installed, we're ready to run Quick Start 1. If you haven't installed RDR yet, please refer to the installation video or refer to the user guide on how to set up RDR. Find more information at volpe.usdot.github.io/RDR-public. This demo will show how to run the full end-to-end RDR analysis, including both the RDR meta model and the RDR return on investment analysis tool. This quick start also provides a template for how the input data should be structured, which an analyst can then adapt for their own scenario analyses. We won't go into the detail of every input file in this video. The main output will be a comparison of the costs and benefits of investments in transportation network resilience across a large scenario space. The tool suite generates a prioritization of resilience investments as an interactive report. This first quick start represents a region based on the Sioux Falls area. In this scenario, there's a simplified transportation network made up of only a handful of nodes and links. In practice, a network will typically be more complex. This example assesses two levels of a river flooding hazard. There are two assets which are being assessed for potential resilience investments: the link between nodes 8 and 9 and the link between nodes 2 and 7. One of the assets is being assessed for a partial mitigation of the flooding hazard, as well as for complete mitigation. Given these inputs, the RDR meta model is run using 6 core model runs. The number of core model runs to use and the decision on how to run the meta model are discussed in the RDR user guide. The tool requires inputs from the user, with some provided as defaults. The user is required to provide a network, hazard exposure information, trip table data, and information on the proposed resilience investments to be assessed. The user can also provide specific information about the relationship between exposure to a hazard and disruption of travel, as well as between exposure to the hazard and damage to the transportation system. RDR has default functions for these. The user can provide specific repair costs and recovery times optionally. Refer to the user guide for more information about these needed inputs. Navigate to where you installed RDR and open the Quick Starts folder. Then open Quick Start 1 Full Run. The inputs are all in a folder called Data and Inputs. For example, there is an input called projectinfo.csv. This file is required to specify the resilience investments to be assessed. The highlighted rows here are the 3 projects being assessed in this quick start. Another key file is a file called quickstart1.config. You can open this in any text editing software. This file specifies where the inputs and outputs are located and parameters such as the start year and end year to be analyzed. There's a number of other input parameters in here. A separate video will detail all of the input files with more information available in the user guide. Now, to run Quick Start 1, we'll use a file called runrdrfull.bat. Before we run it, let's look inside. Again, you can open this in any text editing software. This file has all the environment variables, such as the path to RDR where it's been installed, and the specific RDR path steps to run, including the sampling, running the core models, compilation, regression, and the outputs. To run it, let's go back to the Quick Start folder. To run the Quick Start, simply double-click Run RDR Full.bat. This will now run the RDR model, including sampling the scenario space, running the core models as necessary, and conducting meta-model regression. It will also run the return on investment analysis and generate an interactive Tableau file report. When complete, all of the outputs are in a folder called Generated Files. Open this up and let's take a look. There's quite a few files in here. One of the important folders to look at is the Logs folder. This generates a log of all of the steps that were run and can be useful in understanding any issues that may arise. The key output is a file called Tableau Input File Quick Start 1. Let's open it up and take a look. This compiles all the information from the RDR steps and prepares it for visualization. The visuals are generated by a file called the Tableau report. This will be launched automatically. The project ranking dashboard shows that the greatest net benefits from the resilience investments will be the project for the link between nodes 2 and 7, with an estimated net benefit of 11.5 million. Users can dig further into the dashboards and other outlets to answer questions about the impact of different projects, from a high-level overview given for decision makers, as well as breakdowns of VMT, trips, and hours for different projects and scenarios. We've now completed Quick Start 1. Please see the user guide for more information and the following videos and details about the input files, additional quick starts, and how to create your own scenarios. See volpeusdot.github.io/RDR-public for more information.